Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
You are the host now, okay? Live on the host. Deepamata ఆమెకి అండి ల్యాప్టాప్ లో ఓకే కింద ముందు నీ కంఫర్టబుల్ బట్టి ఓకే
షూర్ ప్రభు. నేను జాయిన్ అయితే ప్రభుజీ జాయిన్ అయితే అక్కడ కాల్ మేనేజ్ చేయడం కష్టము. నేను ఉంటా కాల్లో.
ఏమంటారు ట్యాబ్ నుంచి రన్ చేయగలుగుతారా కాల్?
అంటే నేను ట్యాబ్ లో జాయిన్ అయ్యాను ప్రభుజీ. కొంచెం అంటే స్క్రీన్ షేర్ చేయడం కష్టము, కాకపోతే నేను మొత్తం కాల్లో ఉంటా ప్రభుజీ.
అదే బెటర్ ఎవరికైనా ఇవ్వండి అంటే కంప్యూటర్ యాక్సెస్ ఆ మాట దీపం.
ఓకే ఓకే.
థ్యాంక్ యూ. హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ, హరే కృష్ణ, కృష్ణ కృష్ణ, హరే రామ, రామ హరే. హరే కృష్ణ, హరే కృష్ణ, కృష్ణ కృష్ణ, హరే రామ, రామ హరే. అందరు లేచిరా? అందరు రెడీగా ముట్టుకోవాలి. హరే కృష్ణ, హరే కృష్ణ. నేను చేసిన పొద్దున వేసుకున్న పొద్దున లేకుండే. హరే కృష్ణ, హరే కృష్ణ, కృష్ణ కృష్ణ, హరే రామ. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama 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 Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare కొత్తిమీర ఉండగా మనం ఇసుకొచ్చి వస్తాం हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण మంచి మారాలి అందరు మారాలని హరే కృష్ణ హరే రామ రామ డైరెక్ట్ ఉన్నదండి సాత్సంగ రీతి జరుగుతుంది హరే కృష్ణ సుభిక్ష రామంటుందా అంటే राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमती राधना स्वामी नामिने नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी विशेष शून्यवाद पाश्चात्य सुतारिणी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री स्वाति गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण, हरे कृष्ण दीपा माता जी, can you make host
Hi.
माता जी?
ప్రభుజీ యాక్చువల్గా నేను ఇంకా మొబైల్లోనే ఉన్నాను. ఒక 2-3 minutes లో I will be logging on to the laptop. So you can make me the host. I will be switching it. ఏదైనా ఇష్యూ ఉంటే చెప్తాను. మీరు ఇలా ఆన్లైనే ఉండండి. మీరు అవుట్ స్టేషన్ ఉన్నారా, హైదరాబాద్కి వచ్చారా?
మా ఊరికి వచ్చాను మాతాజీ, వాళ్ళ ఒక్కరోజు
అచ్చా అచ్చా. అయితే ఒక ఉండగలరా?
మీరు ల్యాప్టాప్ లో జాయిన్ తర్వాత చెప్పండి, అప్పుడు చేస్తాను. మళ్ళీ నేను చేసిన తర్వాత మళ్ళీ.
ఓకే, జస్ట్ గివ్ మీ 2-3 minutes. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavana. Yeah, I switched on to the laptop, Prabhuji. You can make me the host.
Yeah.
Do you know where we were? Anybody has any idea? Samyukta Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji Friday నేను అటెండ్ అవ్వలే మాతాజీ.
అవునా? Anybody attended? ఎవరైనా అటెండ్ అయ్యారా?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I think we need to start from 2.236. I might be incorrect, but as far as I remember, it's going to be 2.236.
36. Okay, Prabhuji.
Wish you happy Krishna conscious wedding anniversary, Mataji. Samyukta Mataji and Ramred.
Yes, Mataji. Happy Krishna conscious wedding anniversary, Ram Reddy Prabhu and Samyukta Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I'll start the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। We'll start from 2.2.36. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. O King, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify and remember the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. Purport. Srila Sukdev Goswami begins this verse with the word tasmat or therefore, because in the previous verse he has already explained that there is no auspicious means for salvation other than the sublime process of Bhakti Yoga. The Bhakti Yoga process is practiced by the devotees in different methods like hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, worshipping, praying, rendering service in love, becoming friendly, and offering all that one may possess. All 9 methods are bona fide methods, and either all of them, some of them, or even one of them can bring about the desired results for the sincere devotee. But out of all the 9 different methods, the first one, namely hearing, is the most important function in the process of Bhakti Yoga. Without hearing sufficiently and properly, no one can make any progress by any of the methods of practice. And for hearing only, all the Vedic literatures are there, compiled by authorized persons like Vyasadeva, who is the powerful incarnation of Godhead. And since it has been ascertained that the Lord is the supersoul of everything, he should therefore be heard and glorified everywhere and always. That is the special duty of the human being. When the human being gives up the process of hearing about the all-pervading personality of Godhead, he becomes victim to hearing rubbish transmitted by man-made machines. Machinery is not bad because through the machine one can take advantage of hearing about the Lord, but because machinery is used for ulterior purposes, it is creating rapid degradation in the standard of human civilization. It is said here that it is incumbent upon the human beings to hear because the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are made for that purpose. Living beings other than human beings have no ability to hear such Vedic literatures. If human society gives itself to the process of hearing the Vedic literature, it will not become a victim to the impious sounds vibrated by impious men who degrade the standards of the total society. Hearing is solidified by the process of chanting. One who has perfectly heard from the perfect source becomes convinced about the all-pervading personality of Godhead and thus becomes enthusiastic in glorifying the Lord. All the great acharyas like Ramanuja, Madhva, Chaitanya, Saraswati, Thakura, or even in other countries, Muhammad, Christ, and others have all extensively glorified the Lord by chanting always and in every place. Because the Lord is all pervading, it is essential to glorify Him always and everywhere. In the process of glorifying the Lord, there should be no restriction of time and space. This is called Sanatan Dharma or Bhagavad Dharma. Sanatana means eternal, always and everywhere. Bhagavata means pertaining to Bhagavan, the Lord. The Lord is the master of all time and all space, and therefore the Lord's holy name must be heard, glorified, and remembered everywhere in the world. That will bring about the desired peace and prosperity so eagerly awaited by the people of the world. The word cha includes all the remaining processes or methods of Bhakti Yoga as mentioned above. Hare Krishna. Samyukta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: those who drink through oral reception fully filled with the nectarian message of Lord Krishna, the beloved of the devotees, purify the polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment, and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, the personality of Godhead. Purport: the sufferings of human society are due to polluted aim of life, namely lording it over the material resources. The more human society engages in the exploitation of undeveloped material resources for sense gratification, the more it will be entrapped by the illusory material energy of the Lord, and thus the distress of the world will be intensified instead of diminished. The human necessities of life are fully supplied by the Lord in the shape of food grains, milk, fruit, wood, stone, sugar, silk, jewels, cotton, salt, water, vegetables, etc., in sufficient quantity to feed and care for the human race of the world, as well as the living beings on each and every planet within the universe. The supply source is complete, and only a little energy by the human being is required to get his necessities into the proper channel. There is no need of machines and tools or huge steel plants for artificially creating comforts of life. Life is never made comfortable by artificial needs, but by plain living and high thinking. The highest perfectional thinking for human society is suggested here by Sukadev Goswami, namely sufficiently hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. For men in this age of Kali, when they have lost the perfection vision of life, this Srimad Bhagavatam is the torchlight by which to see the real path. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada has commented on the Kathamritam mentioned in this verse and has indicated Srimad Bhagavatam to be nectarian message of the personality of Godhead. By sufficient hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, the polluted aim of life, namely lording it over matter, will subside, and the people in general in all parts of the world will be able to live a peaceful life of knowledge and bliss. Shall I read from Mataji or?
We'll give it to the next person, Mataji.
Yes, thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Okay.
you, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji, can you read?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
For a pure devotee of the Lord, any topics in relation with his name, fame, quality, interest, etc. are all pleasing, and because such topics have been approved by great devotees like Narada, Hanuman, Nanda Maharaja, and other inhabitants of Vrindavana, certainly such messages are transcendental and pleasing to the heart and soul. And by the constant hearing of the message of the Bhagavad Gita and later of Srimad Bhagavatam, one is assured, hearing by Srila Sukadeva Goswami, that he will reach the personality of Godhead and render him transcendental loving service in the spiritual planet of the name Goloka Vrindavana, which resembles a huge lotus flower. Thus, by the process of Bhakti Yoga directly accepted, as suggested in this verse, by sufficient hearing of the transcendental message of the Lord, material contamination is directly eliminated without once attempting to contemplate the impersonal Virat conception of the Lord. And by practicing Bhakti Yoga, if the performer is not purified from the material contamination, he must be a pseudo devotee. For such an imposer, there is no remedy for being freed from material entanglement. Thus end Bhaktivedanta purpose of second canto, second chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Lord in the Heart.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Gaurav Prabhu, can you read the first 5 translations?
Sure, Mataji. Text 1. Chapter 3. Pure devotional service. The change in heart. Text 1. Sri Sukadev Goswami said, Maharaj Parikshit, as you have inquired from me as to duty of the intelligence, man who is on the threshold of death, so I have answered you. Text 2 to Text 2. The way of presentation of the Vedic sound is so bewildering that it directs the intelligence of the people to meaningless things like the heavenly kingdoms. The conditioned soul hovers in dreams of such heavenly illusionary pleasures, but actually they do not relish any tangible happiness in such places. Text 3. For this reason, the entitled person should endure only to the minimum necessity of life while in the world of names. He should be intelligently fixed and never endeavor for unwanted things, being competent to receive practically that all such endeavors are merely hard labor for nothing. Text 4. When there are ample earth flats to lie on, what is the necessary of coats and beds? When one can use his own arms, what is the necessary of a pillow? When one can use the palms of his hand, what is the necessity of varieties of utensils? When there is an ample covering, or the skin of trees, what is the necessity of clothing? Text 5. Are there no torn clothes lying on the common roads? Do the trees which exist for maintaining others no longer give alms in charity? Do the rivers being dried up no longer supply water to the thirsty? Are the caves of the mountain now closed? Or above all, does the Almighty God not protect the fully surrendered soul? Why then do the learned sages go to flatter those who are intoxicated by hard earned wealth? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Kinchan Prabhu, are you in a position to read?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please read 6 to 10, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Thus, being fixed, one must render service unto the super soul situated in one's own heart by his omnipotency, because he is the Almighty Personality of Godhead, eternal and unlimited. He is the ultimate goal of the life, and by worshipping Him, one can end the cause of the conditional state of existence. Who else but the gross materialist will neglect such transcendental thought and take to the non-permanent names only, seeing the mass of the people fallen in the river of suffering as the consequence of accruing the result of their own work. Other conceive of the personality of Godhead residing within the body in the religion of the heart and the measuring only 8 inches, with 4 hands carrying a lotus, a wheel, a chariot, a council, and a club, respectively. His mouth expresses his happiness, his eyes spread like the petals of the lotus, and his garments yellowish like the saffron of the kadamba flower, are bedecked with the valuable gems. His ornaments are all made of the gold, set with jewels, and he wears a glowing headdress and earrings. His lotus feet are placed over the walls of the lotus-like heart of great mystics. On his chest is the Kasturba jal engraved with beautiful calf, and there are other jewels on his shoulders. His complete torso is garlanded with the fresh flowers. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Chandramali Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Test 11. He is well decorated with an ornamental wreath, and his waist and rings stud with valuable jewels on his fingers. His leglets, his bangles, his oiled hair curling with a bullish tint, and his beautiful smiling face are all very pleasing. Test 12. The Lord's magnanimous pastimes and the glowing glancing of his smiling face are all indications of his extensive benedictions. One must therefore concentrate on this transcendental form of the Lord as long as the mind can be fixed on him by meditation. Text 13. The process of meditation should begin from the lotus feet of the Lord and progress to his smiling face. The meditation should be concentrated upon the lotus feet, then the calves, then the thighs, and in the way higher and higher. The more the mind becomes fixed upon the different parts of the limbs, one after another, the more the intelligence becomes purified. Text 14. Unless the gross materialist develops a sense of loving service unto the Supreme Lord, the seer of both the transcendental and material worlds, he should remember or meditate upon the universal form of the Lord at the end of these prescribed duties. Text 15. O King, whenever the yogi desires to leave this planet of human beings, he should not be perplexed about the proper time or place, but should comfortably sit without being disturbed, regulating the life air, should control the senses by the mind.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Sapan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
16 to 20.
Thereafter, the yogi should merge his mind by his unalloyed intelligence into the living entity, and then merge the living entity into the super self. And by doing this, the fully satisfied living entity becomes situated in the supreme stage of satisfaction, so that he ceases from all other activities. In the transcendental state of Labdo Pashanti, there is no supremacy of devastating time, which controls even the celestial demigods who are empowered to rule over the mundane creatures. And what to speak of the demigods themselves? Nor is there the mode of material goodness, nor passion, nor ignorance, nor even the false ego, nor the material casual ocean, nor the material nature. The transcendentalists desire to avoid everything godless, for they know the supreme situation in which everything is related with the Supreme Lord Vishnu. Therefore, a pure devotee who is in absolute harmony with the Lord does not create perplexities, but worships the lotus feet of the Lord at every moment, taking them into his heart. By the strength of scientific knowledge, one should be well situated in absolute realization and thus be able to extinguish all material desires. One should then give up the material body by blocking the air hole through which the stool is evacuated with the heel of one's foot, and by lifting the air from one place to another in the 6 primary places. The meditative devotee should slowly push up the air from the navel to the heart, from there to the chest, and from there to the root of the palate. He should search out the proper places with intelligence. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Raju Prabhu, are you in a position to read? Krishna. Suman Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji.
Hari Mataji.
Okay, no problem, Prabhuji. Just wanted to check. Yeah, Suman Prabhu, please do.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Text 21. Thereafter, the Bhakti Yogi should push the life hair up between the eyebrows and then blocking the 7 outlets of the life hair. He should maintain his aim for going back home, back to Godhead. If he is completely free from all the desires for material enjoyment, he should then reach the cerebral hole and give up his material connections, having gone to the Supreme. Text 22. However, O king, if a yogi maintains a desire for improved material enjoyments like transference to the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, or the achievement of the eightfold perfections, travel in outer space with the Vaihayasas, or a situation in one of the millions of planets, then he has to take away with him the materially molded mind and senses. Text 23. The transcendentalists are concerned with the spiritual body. As such, by the strength of their devotional service, austerities, mystic power, and transcendental knowledge, their movements are unrestricted within and beyond the material worlds. The fruitive workers or the grass materialist can never move in such an unrestricted manner. Text 24. O king, when such a mystic passes over the Milky Way by the illuminating Susumna to reach the highest planet, Brahmaloka, he goes first to Vaisvanara, the planet of the deity of fire, wherein he becomes completely cleansed of all the contaminations. And thereafter, he still goes higher to the circle of Sisumara to relate with Lord Hari, the personality of Godhead. Text 25. This Susumara is the pivot for the turning of complete universe, and it is called the navel of Vishnu. Garbho the
Garbhodakshai Vishnu.
Garbho
Dakashai.
Daksai Vishnu. The yogi alone goes beyond this circle of Sisumara and attains the planet Maharloka, where purified saints like Bhrigu enjoy a duration of life of 4,4300 million solar years. This planet is worshipable even for saints who are transcendentally situated. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Anybody who is remaining who wants to read? Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll start again. Text 26. At the time of the final devastation of complete universe, the end of the duration of Brahma's life, a flame of fire emanates from the mouth of Ananta, from the bottom of the universe. The yogi sees all the planets of the universe burning to ashes, and thus he leaves for Satyaloka by airplanes used by the great purified souls. The duration of life in Satyaloka is calculated to be 15,480 000 million years. Text 27. In that planet of Satyaloka, there is neither bereavement, nor old age, nor death. There is no pain of any kind, and therefore there are no anxieties, save that sometimes, due to consciousness, there is a feeling of compassion for those unaware of the process of devotional service, who are subjected to unsurpassable miseries in the material world. After reaching Satyaloka, the devotee is specifically able to be incorporated fearlessly by the subtle body in an identity similar to that of the gross body, and one after another he gradually attains stages of existence from earthly to watery, fiery, glowing, and airy, until he reaches the ethereal stage. Samyukta Mataji, ఒక 3 చేయండి. 3.
Yes, ma'am. Text 29. The devotee thus surpasses the subtle objects of different senses like aroma by smelling, the palate by tasting, vision by seeing forms, touch by contacting, the vibrations of the ear by ethereal identification, and the sense organs by material activities. The devotee thus surpassing the gross and the subtle forms of coverings enters the planes of egoism, and in that status he merges the material modes of nature, ignorance and passion in this point of neutralization, and thus reaches egoism in goodness. After this, all egoism is merged in the Mahat Tattva, and he comes to the point of pure self-realization. Only the purified soul can attain the perfection of associating with the personality of Godhead in complete bliss and satisfaction in his constitutional state. Whoever is able to renovate such devotional perfection is never again attracted by this material world, and he never returns. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Sandhya Mataji, next 3.
Hare Krishna Mataji, text 32. Your Majesty, Your Majesty Maharaja Parikshit, know that all that I have described in reply to your proper inquiry is just according to the version of the Vedas, and it is eternal truth. This was described personally by Lord Krishna unto Brahma, with whom the Lord was satisfied upon being properly worshipped. Text 33. For those who are wandering in the material universe, there is no more auspicious means of deliverance than what is aimed at in the direct devotional service of Lord Krishna. Text 34. The great personality Brahma, with great attention and concentration of the mind, studied the Vedas 3 times, and after scrutinizingly examining them, as ascertained that attraction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the highest perfection of religion. What it means, Mataji?
Scrutinizingly, yeah? అంటే బాగా you have to examine something in great detail అన్నమాట. Scrutinize అంటే అది. So the great personality Brahma, with great attention and concentration of the mind, studied the Vedas 3 times. So 3 times he studied, and then what he did after scrutinizingly examining them. So he understood them in great, Kshunnanga, correct. He ascertained that attraction for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the highest perfection of religion. So after ante purtiga he's done adhyayan of that Vedas, and this is the ultimate lesson that he got, that attraction for the Supreme Lord is the highest perfection. So that's what it is being said.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Who's joined just now? Vani Mataji, do you want to read the last three? Hare Krishna. Vani Mataji. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Tanmay Pranam. Can I read Mataji?
Yeah, please Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Text 35. The personality of Godhead Lord Shri Krishna is in every living being along with the individual soul. And this fact is perceived and hypothesized in our acts of seeing and taking help from the intelligence. Text 36. O King, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, and remember the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. Text 37. Those who drink through oral reception, fully filled with the nectarian message of Lord Krishna, the beloved of the devotees, purify the polluted aim of life, known as material enjoyment, and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, the personality of Godhead. Hari.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So we completed the chapter 2, titled Lord in the Heart. So what we'll do is we'll start with the prayers. Whatever we did till now in the pranam prayers, every one of us will sing all the prayers we have done so far. Is that okay? Because we have 30 minutes, we finished early. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji.
Should we do that? All the prayers in pranam
Okay.
mantra?
Yes, brother.
Okay,
Yes,
Mataji.
brother. Yes.
Yeah, Samyukta Mataji, మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తారా?
ఒకసారి మీరు చేయండి Mataji, నేను చేస్తాను.
నేను ఎక్కడైనా తప్పు వెళ్తే ప్లీజ్ కరెక్ట్ మీ, ఓకే? ఐ మైట్ హ్యావ్ ఫర్గాటన్. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. ఓం నమో భగవతే వాసుదేవాయ. నారాయణం నమస్కృత్య నరం చైవ నరోత్తమం దేవీం సరస్వతీం వ్యాసం తతో జయముదీరయేత్. నష్టప్రాయేషు భద్రేషు నిత్యం భాగవత సేవయా భగవతి ఉత్తమశ్లోకే భక్తిర్భవతి నైష్టికీ. కృష్ణాయ వాసుదేవాయ దేవకీ నందనాయ చ నందగోపకుమారాయ గోవిందాయ నమో నమః. నమః పంకజనాభాయ నమః పంకజమాలినే నమః పంకజనేత్రాయ నమస్తే పంకజాంగ్రయే. ఓం అపవిత్రా పవిత్రో వా సర్వావస్థాం గతోపి వా యస్మరేత్ పుండరీకాక్షం సబాహ్యాభ్యంతరం శుచిః. శ్రీ విష్ణు శ్రీ విష్ణు శ్రీ విష్ణు. ఓం అజ్ఞానతిమిరంధస్య జ్ఞానాంజనశలాకయా చక్షురున్మిలితం येन తస్మై శ్రీ గురవే నమః. It has to be in Prabhuji's tune. श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वतीति नामिने श्रीवाशभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञान दायिने प्रभवे नमः। माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाध्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोऽस्तुते। नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दीनतारिणे रूपानुगा विरुद्धाप सिद्धान्त ध्वान्त हारिणे। नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्य रसाम्भुदे. Sorry, did somebody say something? नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भारसाम्भोदे पादाम्बुजाय ते नमः। नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगावराय ते। गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्दिष्टा सज्जनप्रियः वैष्णवसार्वभौम श्रीजगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गोर्मम मन्दमतेर्गति मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्भोजौ राधा मदनमोहनौ। दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमद श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि। మాతాజీ ఇవన్నీ చేసామా మనం? ఎక్కడి వరకు చేసాము? హరే కృష్ణ.
This will be reminding Mataji.
ఉన్నారా ప్రభుజీ మీరు? మీరు లేరు అనుకుని నేను
No,
ఎక్కడి వరకు చేసారు?
అభిధేయాది ప్రణవ.
ఇక్కడి వరకే చేసామా? ఇది ఎలా ప్రభుజీ ఈ ట్యూన్? అభిధేయ
సేమ్ Mataji. దివ్య బృందారణ కల్పద్రుమద శ్రీమద్ రత్నాకర సింహాసనస్థం శ్రీమద్ రాధా శ్రీలగోవింద దేవం ప్రేష్టాలిభి స్వేయమానౌ స్మరామి.
दिव्यद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमध श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि. हरे कृष्ण.
Yes, Mataji. So we are ready to recite this verse, Prayojnati Deva.
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay.
Today what we do is we will do Prayojnati Deva and then we will do all the three together. Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana.
Okay, Prabhuji. సారీ మీరు లేరు అనుకుని నేను స్టార్టింగ్ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేశాను. ప్లీజ్ స్టార్ట్ ప్రభుజీ. మీరు లేరు అనుకుని నేను స్టార్ట్ ఫస్ట్ పేర్ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేశాను.
No, Mataji. I joined late.
Yeah. మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేయండి ప్రభుజీ.
Is everyone ready now? We'll do?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So, Prayojnadi Deva Pranama. Okay. So, you know Radha Gopinath, no? This is the deity of Radha Gopinath. And I forget who is the deity. Acharya here. Mataji, can please check, Radha Gopinath, who served Radha Gopinath in Vrindavan?
Madhu Pandit, Prabhuji.
Madhu Pandit,
Yes.
na Prabhu?
Hello.
Okay. Madhu Pandit. Whose personal deity it is?
Yes,
Madhu Pandit Goswami. Yes, Goswami. Yeah, Madhu Pandit Goswami. Okay. So he is Gadadhar Pandit's disciple. Yes, Madhu Pandit Goswami. Okay. So it is said that he is an personification of mellows. Okay, in Vrindavan. That is what Gopinath is more famous for. So this starts like this. Some can any three of you devotees read the translation, please, of Prayojanadi Deva Pranama. First, you read translation. Any three devotees?
Please volunteer and quickly read. Hare Krishna.
Translation. Sri Gopinatha, who originated the transcendental mellow of the rasa dance, stands on the shore in Vamshivata and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of his celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Translation. Sri Srila Gopinath, who originated the transcendental mellow of the rasa dance, stands on the shore in Vamshivata and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of his celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction. Hare Krishna.
One more devotee, please. Sapan Prabhu, can you do it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please read the translation.
Yeah. Sri Srila Gopinatha, who originated the transcendental mellow of the rasa dance, stands on the shore in Vamshivata and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of his celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction. Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. So please repeat after me. Very simple one. Please repeat after me. Shriman Rasarasarambhe.
Shriman Rasarasarambhe.
Shriman Rasarasarambhe.
Shriman Rasarasarambhe.
Shriman Rasarasarambhe.
Shriman Rasarasarambhe.
Vamshivatatata stitaha. Vamshivatatata stitaha.
Vamshivata stitaha.
Vamshivatatata stitaha. Karshan Venusvanair Gopi.
Karshan
Venusvanair Gopi.
Karshan Venusvanair Gopi.
Karshan Venusvanair Gopi.
Karshan Venusvanair Gopi.
Gopinath Sriyestunaha.
Gopinath Sriyestunaha.
Gopinath Sriyestunaha.
Gopinath Sriyestunaha.
Gopinath Sriyestunaha.
Gopinath Sriyestunaha.
Shriman Rasarasarambhi Vamsivatatatastitaha.
श्रीमान रासरसारंभे वंशीवटतटस्थितः
श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः
श्रीमान
रासरसारम्भे
वंशीवटतटस्थितः
वंशीवटतटस्थितः
श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः
श्रीमान
इमान्
रासरसारंभे
रासरसारम्भे
वंशीवटतटस्थितः
वंशीवटतटस्थितः
कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुनः
कर्षन्
कर्षन्
स्वनैर्गोपे गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तुनः
वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीनाथश्रियस्तुनः
कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुनः
कर्षन्
कर्षन्
गोपे गोपीनाथ
वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीनाथश्रियस्तुनः
कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुनः
कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपे गोपीनाथ स्त्रियस्तुनः
श्रीमान् रासरसारं वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुनः
श्रीमान रासरसारंभे वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपे गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तुनः
श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुनः
श्रीमान रासरसारंभे वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपे गोपीनाथ
गोपीनाथश्रियस्तुनः
श्रीमान् रासरसारं वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुनः
श्रीमान रासरसारंभे
रासरसारम्भे
वंशीवटतटस्थितः
वंशीवटतटस्थितः
कर्षन्
कर्षन्
वेणुस्वनैर्गोपे गोपीनाथ श्रियस्तुनः
वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीनाथश्रियस्तुनः
So now you can go for the individual practice, starting from Samyukta Mataji Ramareti Prabhu. Wish you a very happy birthday, Prabhu. What is that? Is it? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Shall I start?
Who is that?
Vani. Vani here.
Mataji, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Shriman Rasarasarambhi Vamsivatatatastitaha Karshan Venusvaner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestunaha.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Mali chappantu chala Prabhuji.
Chal Mataji. It's okay. Good.
Okay.
Next.
प्रयोजनादि देव प्रणाम श्रीमान रासरसारंभी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर् गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तुनः. Thank you, Prabhu.
श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर् गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तुनः. Thank you.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Prabhu. Deepa Mataji.
कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ
Yes, Mataji. Who else is there? Mataji. Sandhya Mataji. Are you in a position to recite?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I'll try Prabhuji. Actually, I was busy in some personal things, but I will try.
Yeah.
श्रीमान् रसारम्भी वंशीवटतः स्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपे नाथः श्रियेस्तु न.
Yes, Mataji. Lavanya Mataji, are you there? She is in hearing. And Radhika Mataji, she is also in hearing mode.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I'll try Prabhuji.
Yeah, you can try, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटाटस्थिता कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रीपुनः.
Thank you, Mataji. Sapan Prabhu.
श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तु नः.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. Chandramoli Prabhu.
श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तु नः.
Thank you. Atkinson Prabhu.
श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तु नः.
So everyone over now?
Yes.
So now what we do is we read all this Sambandha, Abhideya and Prayojana together. Okay? We'll just practice once and then we will do one by one. Okay? This should always be done together. Generally, whenever we start with Sambandha, we should end with Prayojana. Okay? This is the sequence. But there are instances only you can do one by one. Like if you see Radha Madan Mohan temple, either in Vrindavan or Abids or somewhere else, where Radha Madan Mohan is written on the temple, then what can you do? While just bowing in front of them, what can you recite? Only one sloka. What is that? Okay? That you can recite in front of Madan Mohanji. And in any temple, if you see it is written Radha Gopinath Mandir, then what you can do? You can do the Prayojana Wala. Okay? And if you see anywhere Radha Govinda temple, then what you can do? Sriman Rasarasaram. Okay. So no, I'm sorry. What is Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpatam? So these are the three prayers for three deities. Okay. But for a sadhaka, what Rupa Goswami has advised us is to read all the three together. Okay. Generally, I have seen many devotees doing it while they wanted to do some philosophical class. Okay. Because it's not the speaker's ability to understand, to make understand the philosophy to the listeners. It is these three deities empowerment which will make the philosophy understand to the listener. Okay, that's why they pray to these three deities. So we do it together now. Okay. I will just repeat all the three together. You also repeat after. I will recite it together. You also repeat after. Okay. Jayatam suratau pangor mama mandamatirgati mat sarvasvapadam bhojau radha madana mohanau. Please go ahead. I want you also to recite. Everyone together.
Matirgati Matsarvasya Padambojau Radha Madana Mohanau.
Once again, okay.
Etam
Surato
Pango
Mama Mandatirgati Matsarvasvapadambujo
Radha Madana Mohano
दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदा श्रीमद्रत्नागर सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठाली सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि
दिव्यदुरन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदौ
श्रीमद्रत्नागरसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि
श्रीमान् रासरसारं वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रियेस्तु नः
श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तु नः.
So can you go individually one by one with all the three together? Yeah, individually, one by one. Okay. Please go ahead. Samyukta Mataji, start with someone that.
Yes, Prabhu.
Read all the three together. Okay, Mataji.
Okay, Prabhu. Jayatam suratau pangor mama mandamatirgati matsarvasva padambojau radha madana mohanau दिव्य वृंदारण्य कल्पद्रुमदा श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्द देवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तु नः.
Yes, Mataji.
Jinatam suratau pangor mama mandamatirgati sarvasvapadambojau radha madana mohanau दिव्यधुरन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदा श्रीमद्रत्नाघार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर् गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तु नः. Thank you.
जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गो मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोजो राधामदनमोहनौ दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदा श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसा.
Your voice is very feeble, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
I don't know.
श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीनाथ श्रियेस्तु नः.
Thank you so much, Mataji. And who else is there now? Sandhya Mataji, can you do?
Right, Prabhuji.
Yeah, try Mataji.
जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गुर् मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदां पूजौ राधा मदन मोहनौ Next slide. दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदौ श्रीमद्रत्नाकरसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमन्नाथ श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन् वेणुस्वनैर्गोपी गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तु नः।
Thank you, Mataji. Mani Mataji.
ప్రభుజీ ఎక్కడ నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేయమంటారు? వైష్ణవ ప్రణమ.
No, Mataji.
I lost.
సంబంధ ఆదిదేవ ప్రణామం అండి. జయతాం సురతో పంగు.
లాస్ట్ శ్లోక మాతాజీ జయతాం సురతో పంగోరది సంబంధాది దేవ ప్రణామం.
ఇది చదివాక నెక్స్ట్ ఆవిడ స్లైడ్ వెళ్తారు మాతాజీ. అప్పుడు ఆ ఫస్ట్ రెండు చదవాలి.
ఓకే, ఇది నేను ఫస్ట్ టైం చదువుతున్నాను ప్రభుజీ, మరి తప్పులు వస్తాయి, చేయమంటారా? చెప్తాను ప్రభుజీ. చెప్పండి.
Programmer. I wanted to tell you that we are not here for a competition, Mataji. We are here to just learn, okay?
Yeah.
We encourage you to do mistakes, okay? So that we can be corrected.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji, cheyandi.
Jayatam suratau pangor mama manda matirgati mama sarvasva padambhojo Matsarvasva padambhojo Radha Madana Mohanau. Shall I repeat?
Yes, Mataji. Please repeat once.
Jayatam saratau pangor mama manda matirgati mama sarvasva padambhojo Radha Madana Mohano.
Just once repeat after me, Mataji. No. Once repeat after me.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please
but
repeat after me every line.
That's the reason you have all this sound, Prabhuji. Yeah, cheppandi.
Yeah. ఒక్కసారి నేను ప్రతి లైన్ చేస్తాను, రిపీట్ చేయండి Mataji. Okay.
సరే Prabhuji.
జయతాం సురతౌ పంగోర్
Jayatam suratau pangor
మమ మందా మతిర్గతి
mama manda matirgati
మత్సర్వస్వ పదాంభోజౌ
Matsarvasva padambhojo
రాధా మదన మోహనౌ.
Radha Madana Mohano.
Yeah. Can you do it, Mataji, now? Please try.
Try Jason Prabhuji.
Yeah, try cheyan, Mataji.
Jayatam suratau pangor mama manda matirgati Matsarvasva padambhojo Radha Madana Mohano.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. The next one now.
Yeah. Next ఏంటండి ప్రభుజీ?
నేను మాతాజీ స్లైడ్ చేస్తారు, నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్ కి వెళ్తారు. ఫస్ట్ శ్లోకం చదవాలి మాతాజీ అప్పుడు.
ఓకే.
అభిధేయ ఆదిదేవ ప్రణామం. ఓకే మాతాజీ.
అభిధేయ ఆదిదేవ
ప్రణామం. I will just recite it. You repeat after me line by line, Mataji. Okay?
Yeah, yes, Prabhuji.
Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada
Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada
Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastau
Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastau
Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devau
Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devau
Preshtalivi Sevyamano Smarami
Preshtalebhya Svayam Manau Smarami.
Preshtalibhi
Preshtalibhi
Sevyamanav
Smarami.
Preshtalibhi Sevyamanav Smarami.
Preshtalibhi Sevyamanav Smarami.
Okay. Can you please try, Mataji, if you can?
Yes. Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumadaha Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpa Drumada Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastitau Tau Srimad Radha Shrita Govinda Devau Preshtalibhas Sevyamanav Smarami. Prabhuji,
Preshtalibhi Sevyamanav Smarami.
Preshtalibhas Sevyamanav Smarami.
Concentrate on the words, Mataji, not on the tune. Huh? Words are important.
Okay. Preshtalibhas Svayamanav Smarami.
Sevyamanav
Smarami. Sorry. Preshtalibhas Sevyamanav Smarami.
Yes, Mataji. Last one. The one which we practiced today.
Yeah. Shriman Rasarambi Vamsi Vatatastitaha Krishna Venu Swarne Gopi Gopinatha Srisnaha.
Third line and fourth line, Mataji, once more.
Karshanam
Karshan Venu. Yeah, Karshan Venu. Okay.
Karshan Venu. Shriman Rasarasarambhi Vamsi Vatatastitaha Karshan Venu Suner Gopi Gopinatha Srisnaha.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Who else is there? Cannot do it. Okay. Prabhuji, Saparam Prabhu. Can you please go ahead?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, previous page.
Deepa Mataji, sorry, previous slide.
Jaitam Suratau Bango Mama Mandamate Gati Swapadambo Jau Radha Madana.
Thank you, Prabhu. Next one.
Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumada Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasthau Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devau Prestali Visevyamano Smarami. Sriman Rasarasarambi Vamshi Vatatatastitaha Karshan Venusmaner Gope Gopinatha Striye Sunaha.
Yeah. Akinjan Prabhu.
Yes. Jaitam Surato Pangor Babavandamatirgati Vatsarvasva Padambojo Radhamadanamohano. Divya Vrindaranya Kalpatarumata Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Preshtabhlibi Sevyamano Smarami. Shrimal Rasa Rasarabhi Vamshi Vatatatastita Karshal Venusmaner Gopir Gopinatha Shriyestuna.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Chandramani Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jaitam Surato Pangur Mama Manda Matirgati मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्बोजौ राधामदनमोहनौ दिव्यदृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमधौ श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद् राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिसेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन्वेन स्वनैर्गोपीनाथश्रियेस्तु नः.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I forgot Radhika Mataji. Sorry, Mataji. Can you please go ahead?
Problem, Prabhuji, I'll do it. Hare Krishna.
Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गोर् मम मन्दामतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोजौ राधामदनमोहनौ दिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमदा श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थौ श्री राधा श्रीरघुविन्ददेवौ पृष्ठाली सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवटतटस्थितः कर्षन्वेन गोपीर् गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तु नः. हरे कृष्ण.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Deepa Mataji, thank you so much for managing the call. You can lead the Mataji to conclude. It's already too late today. Thank you.
Yes, Prabhuji. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. शीला प्रभुपाद बुक रीडिंग की जय. श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय. हरे कृष्णा. Thank you everybody for joining. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Deepa Mataji, just wanted to ask one thing. So,
Yeah,
Bhagavatam, that chapter is completed today.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, there are
2.2.
very important verses, Mataji, from 2.2 to 3 to 6. Could you
Yeah,
repeat?
Rep Chetam Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. Tomorrow we will do it.
ప్రభుజీ మాతాజీ అది మనం ఎగ్జామ్ ప్రిపరేషన్ ఎప్పుడు చేద్దాం మాతాజీ మనకి ఎగ్జామ్ ఉంది కదా శ్లోక
That's a different group, Mataji. దీంట్లో చాలా మంది లేరు దాంట్లో. We'll discuss that separately.
Okay, మాతాజీ.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
హరే కృష్ణ.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.